in the open road. I got the throttle wide open, beat on my pace. Got 100 horses between my legs. No destination, no end in sight. Just me in the open road, riding into the moonlight. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Life in the fast lane, it's easy to maintain. Just twist the throttle on back and feel no pain. From the open highways, backwoods of the country, where live free or die is the only way. On my two wheels, all that I need is white lines and gasoline. Never look back, never look back. 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 White lines and gasoline. White lines and gasoline. Two wheels in the open road, life and death in my own hands. I am my own justice, I am my own man. I never look behind through all that I have seen. 'Cause all I need is white lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. White lines of gasoline. We believe in the American way, and we built this country called the USA, and we fly our flag 'cause we're proud and free, we're Americans. Red, white, and blue is our way of life. We never back down from a challenge or a fight. Nature provides, God gives the rights, we're Americans. We make up America, this amazing America. Yeah. We fish the waters and we hunt the lands. We forge the steel with our own two hands. With what we've got, we do the best we can. We're Americans. From the snowy passes to the desert sun, the dogs and the horses and the trucks and the guns, mothers and daughters and fathers and sons, we're Americans. We make up America, this amazing America. Yeah, home of the brave in America. We're an amazing America. Guts. Our strength, pride, and faith and trust is American. We like the wildest things that you've ever seen. We make them bigger and faster, louder and mean. And tell me, who wouldn't want to be an American? We make up America, this amazing America. Yeah, home of the brave in America.
When you're ready, help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train. Welcome, race fans, to the Domino's TYJ Racing Dented Fenders Series live here at Eldora Speedway on All Pro Broadcasting. My name is Robert McFarland. Welcome in the booth are two of my favorite people, Tim and Michelle Rangers. How y'all doing tonight?
We're doing good. Very good, Robert. How are you doing?
No complaints here. I tell you what, this is going to be an action-packed race. This is our very, very first trip for the Domino's TYJ Racing Dented Fender Series on the dirt here at Eldora. We're giving all you fans a preview for what's coming up next Wednesday night live on Real TV, which will be the Eldora race, the Camping World Truck Series. So we're going to give you a preview of what it's going to look like. Hopefully you enjoy this one more than you enjoy the one next Wednesday night. I think, Tim, you might have some track facts for us real quick.
Yeah, I do. First off, big fact is that I usually run this league, but tonight I'm going to be in the booth since it's a non-points race. I'll be in this next week, and with my times not being quite as fast as some of the other drivers, it should be interesting to see how that goes. But as far as this track's concerned, we are in my home state, not a far drive from actually where I live. Eldora is actually the world's greatest dirt track. It's located in western Ohio, a little town called New Weston, Ohio, which is kind of northwest of Dayton, if you're familiar with where Dayton is. But track's actually owned by race car driver Tony Stewart, NASCAR Sprint Cup champion. 3-time, in fact. He's an Indiana native. He purchased Eldora from the legendary promoter Earl Baltz, I do believe, in 2004. It's been racing and hosting dirt tracks since 1954, Robert.
Wow, that is a long time. And I tell you what, how long has the Camping World Truck Series been racing here at Eldora?
That is a darn good question. Camping World, I can look that up for you. I'm not exactly sure how many years it's been hosted at Eldora, but I could find that information for you real quick if you'd like.
Or we can get our famous statistician, Michelle Rangers, to look that up for us.
Yeah, that sounds like a good deal. Michelle's on that right as we speak, Robert.
Hey,
I will tell you, Robert, I was kind of happy about tonight. Michelle only raced five laps, I do believe, on the practice session here on the dirt track, and I think she was a little bit faster than you.
She absolutely was. I'll be the first person to admit, when it comes to racing, I'm not that fast. I'm decent here on the microphone. A lot of people will argue that fact. But I do a pretty good job running the league. Some people will argue that fact. But on the racing surface, I'm not very good, and I'm absolutely terrible in any kind of vehicle on the dirt. And Michelle is much better than I am for sure. She definitely beat me by about a half a second in the earlier practice. So Michelle and I and Tim have all had laps here tonight at Eldora earlier to get an idea. And I tell you what, this is a very, very, very tricky, slick track, in these heavy, high horsepower trucks that Camping World Series brings here that we have tonight. So it's going to be a fun race, and the winner is going to be the guy or the girl who can maintain the truck all the way around the track, including all of the caution laps if we have any. It's going to be a real fun race.
Yeah, this track is actually literally like racing on glass, Robert. Gabe Wood was number one in the practice sessions. He was number one just until Gary Sexton just beat him out, just looks like by 2/100ths of a second going into this practice session before the qualifying.
Yeah, I tell you what, we got a lot of fast drivers, and we got some drivers who are going to have to be patient tonight and keep all four fenders on the truck. As we know, when your truck gets wrecked, to the point where you can't race anymore, you're going to be out of the race. And so for right now, it definitely looks like Gary has got the top time. We'll see if anybody else can beat him here in the last minute. And while we're doing that, we're going to talk to our good friend, Gabriel Wood. Gabriel Wood in the 00. You were fastest in practice. You had the pole here for a few minutes. Gary Sexton knocked you off. What are you expecting for the race tonight?
I'm expecting a good run. Like I told Brandon Monsivice, you're in my house now. You guys run all the asphalt you want, but you come to the dirt, you got to deal with me and a couple other guys. So it's going to be fun. I tried running the top during these qualifying laps. I guess I just missed the pole, so that's going to suck a little bit. But
yeah, I was really surprised, Gabe. Gary put down an 18.333, beat you out by just about 2/100ths of a second there. How do you feel about that?
not good, considering I was 3/10 faster than him in practice. So I think I'm trying to think what I could go back and do, but I don't think I could have done anything different.
No problem, ball Gabe. Good luck tonight. Hopefully you keep all four fenders on it. You stay out of trouble, and hopefully we talk to you in Victory Circle.
Yeah, hopefully we can get this Veterans Motorsports 00 up front. Well, it shouldn't take long starting from second.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
There are a lot of really fast laps laid down in qualifying tonight, Robert.
Yes, sir, Tim. If you and Michelle will take turns, maybe Tim, you can go through the first 10 starting lineup, and Michelle, if you cover the second half, 11 through the end of the field, guys who took times, that'd be awesome.
All right, we've got the number 17 truck of Gary Sexton. Qualified first with an 18.333. Gabe Wood right behind him with 18.352 in the 00 car. David Washington in the 98 with an 18.384. 24 car of Colin Bowden qualified fourth. He was also under that 18.4 mark with an 18.395. Had Ryan A. Hill in the 55 qualifying fifth. In sixth, we have Curtis Young in the 94. In the number 7th position, Blake Griffith, my teammate, in the number 2 car from JTM Motorsports. Number 8, Jeremy Crandall in the 73. We've got Brandon Cruz Monsivius in the number 54 car, qualified 9th. And in 10th, Ray Richard in the number 44. Michelle?
In the 89 car, we got Giovanni Bramante with the time of 18.821. The car 77 of Jack Watts in number 12 position, 18.823. We have car 56, Josh Bonwell, number 13th position. We have car 85, Judd Danielson in the 14th position. Car 26, Eric Standard, 15th at 18.958. Then we have car 42, David Wright, who is 16th, is the 19.047. Then we have car 46, Bo Glenn, in position 17.
And we are green. Green flag racing.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, Michelle. It does look like the 00 of Gabriel. We just talked to him, tries to get a jump on the lead there. It looks like he's got some serious competition with, looks like Gary Sexton, the 17 on the outside, as well as the 24 of Colin Bowden. He's almost touching Trey Payton there with the 00. Yes, sir, I tell you, anytime you see some guys jump right in here, this so far has been an exciting start of the race, and that's why we call it the Dented Fenders Truck Series. What are you seeing up front there, Tim?
I'm seeing Gary Sexton hold on to a pretty good lead. As time around the track seems to be speeding up as well. Gabriel Wood trying to hold on to that second spot with Colin Bowden right on his tail.
Yeah, and right behind him, I just noticed the 98 of Dave Washington just got into the wall. I tell you what, fans, you're going to see that pretty often tonight. If you just graze the wall, you're probably going to be okay. But if you get into that wall too many times, like I think Kyle Larson did last year here at Eldora, or the year before that, you're going to ruin your truck, and that's going to ruin your night.
Gary is pulling away right now in that Seasons Pizza truck of his, that number 17 Seasons Pizza truck. Good looking paint on that truck tonight. Going to have a lot of dirt on it. Going to need a good car wash after this race is complete.
Yes, sir. I just noticed Dave Washington got in the wall again. He is trying to run that extreme high line, and that's exactly where you want to run, but you do not want to get in the wall. We do have a caution out. We'll get the replay pulled up in just a minute or two. Did you see what happened there?
I did not. All eyes on Gary Sexton here.
Yeah. Looks like the 73 of Jeremy Crandall. Yep, we're going to get the replay pulled up, fans. And the number 2 had some contact there.
Oh, Blake's truck is really dented up in the front part of his truck. He is not going to be a happy man. He's very worried about this track tonight. As his teammate, I'm kind of pulling for him, but you know, you've got to be in a broadcast like this. You can't be too particular. But that's tough for Blake Griffin.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Looks like what happened. These two trucks just got together. It actually looks like the 73, as you're going to see all night tonight, Tim and Michelle. These trucks they're going around the corners, basically sideways all the way around. It's a beautiful sight to see, especially when these guys can control it. Obviously, the 73 overcorrected. As he overcorrected, he got right in front of the number 2, and that caused a big wreck. Unfortunately, both those trucks have got some heavy damage, and it'll be interesting to see if they can get back in or get even laps done.
Both very clean drivers every Wednesday on asphalt, but dirt, as we know, a whole different thing. Or maybe I shouldn't say dirt, maybe I should say clay. This is actually a clay track.
Exactly. Everybody thinks this is a dirt track, which technically it is, but the actual base of this track, as all dirt tracks are, they're made of clay. Correct, Tim?
That is correct. You know, you got to have that water mixture just right in clay. It's just like, you know, if you could put the whole track in a kiln, that'd be a really nice statue, Robert.
Yeah, I tell you what. So right now it looks like who we have up front for this restart is going to be the 00 and the 17. I'll let you take the restart.
Got Gary Sexton on the inside, Gabriel Wood on the outside, and Gabriel looks like he's... Oh, no, I thought he was going to get him on the inside there, but he did not get Sexton on the inside. We've got some contact there coming from, looks like, the 55 car of Ryan A. Hill. The wall slowed down a little bit.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Back of the pack, that 89 car is... Oh, gosh, yellow flag's out again. It looked like a little bit of contact there.
Yes, sir. We will bring that replay up as soon as we can. Give us just a couple of seconds there, fans. What did you see, Tim?
Again, I'm kind of on the middle of the pack. I missed that.
Yeah, it looks like the 77.
Jack Watts, 77 car. Looks like he...
Yeah, it looks like the 77 is up on his deck. Looks like he got to that corner. A similar situation to before. He's running that extreme high line. He gets it going straight. Looks like he actually made contact, unfortunately, with the 23 of Dylan C. Jones. I tell you what, these guys are racing in very, very close quarters. You come off these corners sideways, and yes, fans, that's exactly what you're seeing. A truck's right in the way, and that's exactly what happened. He got contact from Chad Payne.
We've got drivers tonight that have never run dirt, Robert. I mean, a lot of these drivers, they're you know, really high-end professional drivers on the asphalt, but when it comes to dirt, like myself, you know, I'm a little scared to get dirty. You know, you got to take a shower after this race.
Yeah, absolutely. You need a shower. You probably need a second shower, and you got to probably have your clothes washed 2 or 3 times there, Tim.
I bet. I mean, this is just, it's a slick track. I mean, I've raced here, and I was in the practice sessions. I ran about 100 laps, and just a tough track to really keep control of. The line, you literally, and it was explained to me by Gabe Wood, you have to be on and off the throttle so much, and you know, just turning, you're almost facing the wall when you're going into the turns, Robert. And you know, it's something the asphalt guys just aren't used to. You know, you don't practice it enough. You know, it's something like a road course, but a whole different animal.
Green flag, green flag.
And we're back to green, Robert.
Yes, sir. Tell us about the restart.
Got Gary Sexton, Gabe Wood, and David Washington all out front. I'm taking a look at Gabe right now, and he is falling back from Gary Sexton. Just looks like about a half a second behind right now. Seems to be catching him on the turns, but on those straightaways, Gary is just pulling off, and Gabe was just half a second ahead of this whole field during the practice session. So this track must be really suited right now. That mud getting packed, that clay rather, where Gary is taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I can tell you one thing, Tim. I know these drivers almost like I know the back of my hand. We've been doing this for about going on 3 years now. Most of these drivers are new for 2017, but in 2017, it has been a long year so far. And Gary Sexton, yeah, another caution, fans, we'll bring that up real quick. Gary Sexton, like a lot of the drivers who are winning most of the asphalt races. They put in a lot of practice laps. I think Gary told me he's put in 400 laps here on this track this week. What'd you see on that caution?
Looks like Sean Kalis got into somebody, Robert. I'm not quite seeing it.
It looks like he's in that 45. He had a little bit of issues there. I got him right now on the replay. Looks like coming out of the corner. He's going to the high side of the groove there. All these trucks are sideways. He just was not able to correct that. And the 6 of Campbell had nowhere to go and got right into him. And on that note, fans, we're going to tell you how you won that free pizza tonight. We have had about 15, 16 laps. We've had a few cautions, which could be the norm for tonight. But fans, like we do every Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday night, we give away a large 3-topping free Domino's pizza. And simply, this is how you can win it. This race, is 85 laps. By halfway, which is lap 40, what is it, Tim? Half of 85 is 42 and a half?
42 and a half.
So we'll call it lap 43. We'll give you an extra half lap, fans. The first fan to actually predict the winner of this race by lap 43 will win that free pizza. Like last week, it was Erica Estep. She won her second pizza this year. And Tim, we've given away a whole lot of those this year.
Nothing goes better with dirt track racing than pizza, Robert.
I tell you what, I'll let you take this restart again.
All right, 17 of Gary Sexton. It looks like he's taking the outside line. Gabe Wood on the inside in the 00 car. Great looking paint from him tonight. And they are green. Brandon Cruz has moved up from 9th into 3rd place right now. Seems to be catching the field.
Yes, I tell you what, some of these other drivers.
And he literally just disappeared. I think he might have had a connection. Oh no, he didn't disappear. He's in first. He's got, showing me he's got the lead.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
He blinked for a second, I think, Robert. I think he had a connection error, and it showed him in first on my screen, and then all of a sudden he's in 6th. 45 car in that, Robert. And I think the 72 of Ivan Garcia as well involved in that. David Wright and Ivan Garcia seem to have got into each other a little bit too much trading paint in that.
Yeah, exactly. It definitely looks like it was the 45 again. And who else do you see?
42 of David Wright and Ivan Garcia in that 72 car.
Yes, these drivers are learning every single week. Unfortunately, they had a little bit of issues there. It definitely looks like some of these guys are back on the track. We had Gerald Campbell involved in an earlier caution, the 73 as well, of Jeremy Crandall. He's back on the track. So a lot of times these trucks have cautions or damage. They're able to get back out here and keep running.
And Curtis Young has moved up 1 position from his qualifying time. As you know, Curtis won last year's entire Dented Fender's Truck Series. He was the winner, so he got promoted to Xfinity. And I think he might be running Cup this year, is he not?
Yes, he is only running these non-point races.
Yeah, any driver, by the way, if Domino's race fans, any driver can run the non-points races in any of the series. So you get a lot of the truck drivers like me are up against people who are much faster in races like this, like a David Washington or a Gabe Wood. These are some of the high-end drivers, and Gabe Wood and David obviously have been practicing dirt along with Gary because they are all top 3 right now as we go green. Gary's on the inside or on the outside rather. Looks like he is sharp turn, and Gabe right behind him with Ryan A. Hill coming up.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looks like Ryan A. Hill's moved up smartly. And Gabriel Wood, that number 00, he just touches the inside wall. He's trying to work in that low groove to try to make it work, and it's not working out too bad. He's in 3rd.
He's got him right now. Ryan A. Hill has moved ahead of Gabe.
Exactly. And behind him we have David Washington. He's always a threat on any kind of asphalt track we race. Obviously, this is a learning curve for him as well. And like you mentioned, Curtis Young in that number 94, he is as well trying to make his way forward. Looks like he's putting a slide job on Gabriel Wood. Gabriel gets in the back of him. no harm, no foul, a little bit of trading paint. And that definitely gives Gio Bramante and that 89 room to get in front of the 00.
Giovanni, another one of the drivers in the series that runs real cars. I need to talk to him about a little more about that to find out exactly what he's running. Robert, do you know that?
Yes, he is running the super late model, I'm pretty sure. He races a couple of times a month, and he actually races for David Gilliland Racing, which is a top-notch team. Would not surprise me at all, fans. Yes, you heard me right. The number 89 at Gio Bramante, you will probably see him in the truck series on real TV in real life here in the next 12 to 24 months, and you're watching him live right now on All Pro Broadcasting. Make sure, fans, you click the subscribe button. That way you get all the alerts for the free pizza. Like we said earlier, these laps are going to go by a little bit faster now that we've had a few trucks that wreck out. So before lap 43, fans, the first fan to accurately predict the winner of this race, you will win that large 3-topping Domino's pizza like we've given about 30 of them away so far this year. And this is some great racing.
This is, and you know, this field, Robert, which is really interesting. Gary Sexton's still in the lead. David Washington just passes Ryan A. Hill to go into second, but this field is diverse because you look at a race car driver like Giovanni Bramante in real life, and you also look at other race car drivers who have driven in real life like Ivan Garcia, and the age range goes from 13 all the way to 72 years old.
Caution is out.
Yeah, I tell you what, as we say that, the caution has just come back out. Did you see who was involved in that one?
I did not. I wish I did. I'm concentrating on the leaders right now.
Looks like the number 6 of Gerald Campbell had a few issues there.
Gerald Campbell back right now in the 17th position.
Yeah, I'm looking at the replay right now, fans. It definitely looks like he was coming out of the corner. On the outside, he had, it looks like the 04. Excuse me. That would be the 04 of Brian Coots, excuse me. They just made some contact, and it just turned Gerald Campbell headstrong, head front into the outside retaining wall. And that might do it for Gerald Campbell as he rolled 2 or 3 times down the backstretch. You don't see that much here at Eldora,
as
but
right
you
now,
saw it tonight.
On the lead lap, I wonder if he's completely out or if he's just going to go a few laps down.
Yeah, I would imagine he could be done for the night, or at least with a lot of damage. So I tell you what, fans, so far it's been entertaining. Again, like I said, you do have the chance to win that free pizza. I tell you what, Michelle, give the fans the details on how to win that free pizza again, if you don't mind, Michelle.
Yes, the first fan that picks the winner of the race tonight by lap 43 wins a 3-topping Domino's pizza, carry out only. You can text your win, or you can text it to 919-883-7497.
Thank you there, Michelle. Also, fans, you can comment in the live chat. We do have Josh's mom. That would be Josh Bonwell. She is in the live text. She's already picked her son in the 56, as always, every single week. And one of these weeks, he's going to win, and she's going to win that free pizza herself. I'll let you take the restart here, Tim.
All right, we've got the number 8 of David Washington moving up into the second position. Gary Sexton on the outside. Looks like David and Gary... and the 89 of Giovanni Bramante taking the outside line to pull into the second position. This kid is just on fire this season.
I tell you what, another thing to keep in mind is this track is changing every single lap. And we do have the 89 of Gio Bramante. It looks like he started all the way back in 11th position. He is racing that David Gilliland Racing Toyota Tundra truck. He is all the way up to second. It would not surprise me at all, Tim and Michelle, to see him in victory circle here, because he knows how to manhandle all these trucks. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Tim, you mentioned age earlier. I think he is the ripe old age of 13, maybe
yes,
14.
That is correct. He is actually 13 years old and competing with the big boys out here tonight, Robert, on dirt at Eldora.
Yeah, right now on the inside, he's got David Washington, which I think is a type of a mentor to him. On the inside of him, we got the 00 of Gabriel Wood. Some fantastic racing here. But I am pretty sure that Gabriel Wood is in his 20s, and I wouldn't be shocked if the 98 of David Washington is a little bit older than that, maybe close to my age. Ryan A. Hill is making a move on the inside here of the 00. He's trying to make that bottom line move. So this 13-year-old is showing these older guys how to get it done here at Eldora in the dirt in these trucks.
I'm watching a little bit back of the pack. Curtis Young in the 94 car has actually dropped all the way back to 9th. I'm not sure if he's having some issues with the changing track or possibly some damage to his truck. It looks like that rear spoiler may have some damage, holding him back a little bit, Robert.
Yes, sir. I've definitely looked. He's got damage on the right front fender as well as the whole right side. I'm pretty sure the 94 of Curtis Young has been in the wall 2 or 3 times tonight. As always, Curtis is definitely driving that, Dive Bomb Motorsports Go Fast Energy Drink truck, and he's got damage on the back, the right side, the right front. I tell you what, as you watch these trucks go around this track, in front of him we got the 56 of Josh Bonwell. Mentioned him earlier. He's got a little bit of right damage on the right rear of that play seat, number 56. Great sponsor for him.
Because these trucks are not meant for this type of track, and these for drivers, so I really have a hard time handling these trucks on this track.
Lot of horsepower in these trucks, Michelle. A lot of horsepower for a small track like this at Eldora.
Yes, sir. I tell you what, and it's making the slide job work. In front of him, we've actually got the looks like the number 26, normally the number 24 of Eric Stanford with the ESBilliards.com Toyota Tundra. Fans, you do not want to miss tomorrow night's race. It will be sponsored by ES Billiards. It's the ES Billiards 240 at Watkins Glen. That's in kilometers. You do not want to miss that race. In front of him, we've got another driver. Looks like it's the 23 of Dylan C. Jones. He has moved all the way up to 6th position. Looks like Dylan started back in 21st. A great run for Dylan. In front of him, it looks like we've got, the 55 of Ryan A. Hill. He is always in that Hunt the Truth Halo 5 Chevy Silverado. He is a great real-time dirt racer, especially on go-karts. He has moved his way up to 4th. And in front of him, we've got Gabriel on the 00 as we're having a really good green flag run here. As well, in front of him, we have the 98 of David Washington. Get my words mixed up this action. It's happening so fast. Tim and Michelle. In front of him, we've got the 89 of Gio Bramante. Like I said, tonight he's in that DGR Bramante Racing Toyota Tundra.
Gary Sexton's actually pulled a full second ahead of Giovanni and David Washington and Gabe Wood, who had the fastest time in the 4-hour practice prior to the race tonight, Robert.
I tell you what, fans, you've got about, I think we've already passed the halfway point to get the peek in for the pizza. We'll definitely update you when the race is over. But yes, Gary Sexton, like I mentioned before, he is driving that Cross Continent Racing Hexcam.net 17 Chevy Silverado, and he's putting some laps on these slower drivers. He spent, like I said, probably 400 laps on this track earlier this week, and he is doing a fantastic job as he is lapping trucks left and right.
Just lapped Ivan Garcia there in the 72 Tide truck, and Ivan looks like he got into somebody as he lapped him to bring out that yellow.
Yeah, we do have another caution on the track. We'll get that pulled up here in just a minute.
I'm done.
What did you see there as far as what happened, Michelle or Tim?
I saw Ivan go low, and it looked like somebody. I'm not sure which truck that was right in front of Ivan, but it looked like they were coming over. Maybe didn't see Ivan there, and Ivan might have hit the driver's side door. So we're hoping that that driver's okay tonight.
Yeah, I got the replay pulled up right here. It does look like the 72 Tide Ride of Ivan Garcia. He's got in front of him, it looks like the 33. That would be our favorite driver, Vernon Margine. Vernon looks like tonight he's racing as normal. The GTR Simulator YNS and Sons Heating and Cooling Toyota Tundra. Looks like Vernon just got in front of Ivan. Ivan got right beside him as they came into the corner. They both got hooked together, and that caused the caution there.
I don't think Vernon saw him. I mean, Vernon's a very clean driver, being 3 laps down. I don't really think he saw Ivan coming and moving up on him. And Ivan's only a lap down on this track. To be a lap down. Speaking of our youngest driver, Giovanni Bramante, Ivan Garcia is our oldest driver. He drives a 72 car because he's actually 72 years old.
I tell you what, that is a great point, Tim. Thanks for reminding us of that. Does look like we got a couple of trucks getting the wave around the 46. That would be one of our newer drivers. The 45 of Sean Kalis. as well as the 6 of Daryl Campbell. Looks like you're going to be making a lap back up.
I will be surprised if anybody comes out of this race without damage. I was taking a look at that 55 car, Ryan A. Hill, that is starting right behind Gary Sexton in the 4th position, and his car is beat to heck.
Yeah, I tell you what, most of these trucks in real life in the Camper World Truck Series here at Eldora, you're not getting out of this race without some damage, and that's exactly what we're going to see here.
98 of David Washington trading paints with a 17 of Gary Sexton to put him in the 3rd or 4th position right now, Robert. Gary restart.
Sometimes that happens, and I tell you what, the 98 of David Washington is going to take every advantage he can to try to get ahead. He obviously did trade some paint with the 17, and that puts the 17 back a few laps, or excuse me, a few positions. But trust me, the 17 of Gary Sexton is going to fight his way back, and he is going to get back up to the lead, in my opinion.
Dirt is absolutely flying, and I know Giovanni Bramante has to be happy with himself right now, being in the lead. He's almost pulled a full second away from David Washington, who's in that 98 car, 89 of Giovanni Bramante. I mean, the man is just, it's 13, so is just amazing.
Yes, the young man is putting on a show. It took him a few laps to get to the lead. Like you just said, he is 13 years old. I'm pulling him up right now. Looks like Gio started back in the... What position was that? He started back in 11th?
He started in 11th, and he's moved up into 1st, Robert. We've got the car who qualified first of Gary Sexton is now dropped to 5th after those restarts, and it looks like the yellow is out. Gabe Wood has spun. I'm not exactly sure how. Let's pull up that replay.
Yeah, actually, we're going to take this one chance, Michael D'Amico, to go to our only commercial break. Fans will be back in 1 minute, and we'll give you the details of that replay.
This is getting exciting. We're coming down.
When you're ready, help gets there faster. The cleanup specialists at 1-800-SERVPRO and ServPro.com. Helping make fire and water damage like it never even happened.
You're watching All Pro Broadcasting with
Freedom Train.
Hey, this is Garrett Smithley, driver the number 0 JD Motorsports Chevrolet, and you're watching All Pro Broadcasting.
Did your little storm knock out the power? Well, excuse me for not noticing.
Hate to disappoint you, old man Winter. Better luck next time.
If the power goes out, your Generac standby generator goes on automatically.
Down trees? Flash floods? Is that all you've got?
Stand up to the threat of outages with Generac and never feel powerless.
Welcome back, race fans. We just took the green flag for the restart. You did not miss anything. We have the 89 of Gio Bramante in the lead, but he's getting all kind of pressure from the 98 of Dave Washington. He's looking to take that high line, and on the low line, we've got the 55 of Ryan A. Hill. These guys are trying to find any kind of advantage as David Washington's in the wall. He's going to lose a lot of speed there.
And Gary Sexton, who qualified first, all the way 2 laps down now. I think he might be out of the race. Not exactly sure. They might be working on the car right now, but he's in the 17th position. Anything can happen tonight, Robert.
Yeah, I tell you what, we get that replay pulled up, fans. Unfortunate for Gary. Like I said, he was leading most of the race, and anything can happen.
And next week, we're back on the same track, Robert.
Yes, next week, we're going to have a Dented Fender truck only points paying race. Actually, technically, Tim got to send the update out. Next Wednesday is the real Camping World Truck Series race at Eldora. We are taking that night off. We're going to be having a practice session only. Next Wednesday night, the guys will be in here racing, the ones that do not want to be watching that real live race. But we're going to postpone and reschedule the actual point truck race here at Eldora, and we'll give all the details out to the drivers soon.
Now, is that going to be on Fox Sports 1 or a different channel? Is that going to, because I've heard there's a soccer match, it might even be FC Cincinnati, my hometown of Cincinnati, in a soccer match that usurped the race, which I don't really agree with soccer usurping a race, but apparently that's happened.
I'm pretty sure the Camper World Series official Eldora truck race will be on TV somewhere. We'll have to find out. Gary, sorry to see your night come to an end so short. The next caution will let us know what happened. If you want to help us out here in the booth, we appreciate it on this restart.
Yeah, Robert, 10-4. I'm still opening up the room, so I'm just kind of all add in after.
Yes, sir, no problem. It looks like starting, we've got the 89 Gio Bramante on the restart, the 55 of Ryan A. Hill. We got Dave Washington on the inside in third, and on the 56 on the outside in fourth. This is going to be a great restart with about 20 laps to go, about 19 laps to go here.
And Dylan C. Jones has actually moved up all the way to 4th, 5th position from 21st qualifying. Josh Bonwell in that number 56 ride is now in 4th from 13th in qualifying, Robert.
I tell you what, these guys that are really, really fast on asphalt, they are definitely surprising some of us. Dave Washington being one, Josh Bonwell in the 56 being another, and yes, the 23 of Dylan C. Jones. I do not think he's got a win yet in the Dented Fender Truck Series. Actually, he's not in that series in the top shelf. I don't think he has a win there either. Right now, the 89 of Gio Bramante is getting a mirror full of the 55 of Ryan A. Hill, and I tell you what, both of these guys are putting it on. Ryan A. Hill takes the low line, the low groove. Gio Bramante's in the high grid. They're dead center coming through the middle of the corner, but Gio gets that run off the corner, and Ron is going to have to figure out a different way to get around the 89 of Gio Bramante if he wants to win this race here with about 15 laps to go.
Looking in the back of the pack a little bit, the number 26 car of Eric Stanford just passing Judd Danielson in the 85, with Ray Richer moving up to the 10th position to overtake my teammate, Blake Griffith.
Exactly, looks like actually Ray Richer was just watching that, fans. Looks like Ray got a little bit of help there as he got spun around. I don't think it was anything intentional at all. Unfortunately, it definitely looks like the 44 of Ray Richer. Fans, as we're pulling up this replay real quick, Ray had got it really sideways going into that corner, and the car right behind him, it looks like the number 2, that'd be your good friend, great driver. What's your for your team? Blake Griffin.
Blake Griffith, yeah.
Yeah, Blake Griffith, unfortunately.
Not the basketball, not to be confused with the basketball player of great Blake Griffin, but I do believe that Blake Griffith would like his money.
Yeah, I think Blake just barely got in the back of the 44, and the 44 was already half sideways, and that's what caused that last caution, fans. But that's going to give us another chance for somebody to...
This might put Ivan Garcia back on the lead lap in the 72 car in 16th position, and we'd have 16 drivers on the lead lap. Looks like quite a few are 10-plus laps down.
Yeah, guys, and I would look for Josh Bonwell in 3rd place. Or actually, I'd look for David Washington in 4th place. He's in a good spot. He's pretty quick. He's going to be on the outside of these guys in the outside lane in the 2nd row. Look for him and Gio to be working together to get a good start on this restart.
Are you back in it, Gary, or are you in the pits?
No, unfortunately, with these sim racing, sometimes you have variables that come into play, like your cat jumping on your computer and turning it off. So I missed a shift there on that one restart and fell back to 4th, and then just as I was about ready to start my charge back to the front, my cat turned my computer off. So sometimes that happens, but I'm up here to help you guys call the rest of this race as they come around to get the green flag.
Yes, sir, Gary, take this restart for us. It looks like it's Gio's race to lose.
Yeah, Gio gets a good jump off on the outside. The outside's been the dominant line all night. David Washington doesn't get the start that I thought he would, so that's going to allow Ryan Hill to slide up in between those two and maintain that preferable line around the outside. But he's going to have his whole back end full of David Washington as they dive down into turn 3 and 4.
Gio just hit the wall.
That's definitely going to hurt him. That's going to give the 55 of Ryan Hill and the 98 of Dave Washington, as well as the 56 of Josh Bonwell. And you can never rule out the 00. Yes, sir, the 00 of Gabriel Wood. He is wanting to fight and get it back up to the front. He led all those practice laps. He wants to get this one as well.
Yeah, and it's all Gio out front. You can touch the wall a little bit here, but as long as you don't pound it, you'll be all right. And back for 2nd place, there's contact with Ryan Hill and David Washington.
Look at Gio working that wheel in the inside. When you see that camera angle, he is working that wheel.
It's incredible, and you just saw the 98 get a great slide job on the 00. I think Gabriel will get on that corner a little bit high to get off the gas, and that puts David Washington back up to second place. And don't look now, but the 55 is on the inside of the 23 of Dylan C. Jones. This is a dogfight for second, third, fourth, and fifth.
Yeah, and here's Gabriel Wood back up in the top 5. I know he had gotten loose in front of me, and I had gotten into him, and he fell into the back. But he's worked his way all the way back up into the top 5, and I'm sure he's hungry for a win.
We've just got 12 to go this time around. 12 to go right now. Giovanni Bramante almost a lap ahead with 9 to go.
Yes, and the 23 of Dylan C. Jones just got in the wall, incidental contact. I don't think it's going to hurt him too much. And Ryan Hill on that 55 is still trying to use that low groove, that inside groove to make headway. I think he's actually losing time there.
Yeah, there's a ton of grip on the bottom. The car feels real hooked up down there, but your speed gets really bogged down coming off the corner, so it's really hard to make any headway. The high line is definitely the fastest way around this track, but if you are going to want to make it pass, you're going to have to do it on the bottom.
That's exactly what the 23 of Dylan C. Jones just did. Looks like we got to
go.
Yeah, 6 to go. We will get a restart, fans. Do not go anywhere, not even to the bathroom. You don't want to miss this finish, and we'll find out what you guys see on the who calls that caution.
Gary, how'd that track feel being in the car tonight?
Yeah, the track was really good. It was a pretty good starting state. Lots of grip to begin. As it went on, the grip kind of went away. It was a lot harder to, maintain the same consistency throughout the run. But as long as you kept at least your right rear tires out of the slick stuff, you had it pretty hooked up. The more the track slicks off, the faster it gets. A little harder to control, but you can get some really, really fast lap times. So I look for the end of this race to be pretty exciting. We should be getting about a restart with about 2 laps to go. That's going to put, it's going to put Ryan Hill on the outside of row 2. We know Gio's going to take the outside, but if Ryan Hill can get a start, I know he's really aggressive. He's really good on the dirt tracks, and when there's no points on the line, these guys might do just about anything to get a win here on the short tracks.
I'm really impressed right now with Dylan C. Jones qualifying 21st in that 23 car, moving all the way up to 5th tonight.
Yeah, and it looks like he didn't even take a qualifying time, so definitely an impressive run by Dylan C. Jones to move all the way up to 6th place in a good spot. I feel like anyone on the outside line, as long as they get a good restart, they're probably gonna move up their positions on the guys on the inside line with only about 3 laps to go.
And Gabe Wood, who qualified in the 2nd position, in 3rd right now, his car looks like it might need some repairs after this race, but he's still on the track and still holding some great times.
The green flag is out. The green flag is out. Yes, sir. Looks like Gio Romani gets a great start, but Ryan A. Hill gets an even better start. And David Washington takes the low line. He's trying to make that pass on the inside. It's not going to work as he is side by side with the 55. David almost loses it, but he gathers it back up. The 55's in the wall, the 94's in the wall, the 89's in the wall.
Yeah, that's all going to seal it up for Gio as long as he can keep it straight. But David Washington can maintain second place on the outside with 2 to go. Yep. And Gabriel Wood with a nice slide job. David Washington with a crossover back to the inside. But Gabriel Wood's got the position on the outside. Look for him to keep the momentum up around the outside. But it's all Gio right now as they're going to come around to get the white flag. But
that 55 of Ryan A. Hill trying to take it on the inside, Robert.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is some of the most exciting racing I've ever seen. I did not predict this going into the night. We have had some cautions. The 55 gets too far sideways. But up front, it definitely looks like it's Gio Romante's race to win. As the 00 Gabriel Wood's making a fight, as David Washington gets into him.
Yeah, they get into each other for a second. Gio's going to come around and take this one.
Oh my gosh, what a finish. What an exciting race. My heart is beating out of my chest, Robert.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
it's as exciting being up here as it is down there watching these guys go. But flawless run by Gio. I know he worked his way up from a few positions back. I'm not quite sure where he started, but I know he wasn't up there right at the beginning. So that's a pretty impressive run for Gio. What a race, guys. And what's cool about this track is there's an actual victory lane you can pull into. So look for Gio to pull into that victory lane and get some photo opportunities.
Yeah, I tell you what, this is going to be awesome. If you guys will go over, you take your turns. I'll tell you what, Michelle, are you still there? If you go over the top 10 finishers or the top 8 or 9 and let Tim go over the rest, and then Gary, you can go over the final ones.
We have in first position Giovanni Bramante. Second, we have Gabriel Wood. Third, Dylan Jones. Fourth, David Washington. Fifth, Curtis Young. Sixth, Josh Bonwell. Seventh, Ryan Hill. 8th, Ray Richter. 9th, Judd Danielson. And 10th, 10th, Blake Griffith.
Yeah, Gerald Campbell coming up 11th. David Wright in the 12th position. Sean Kalis in 13th. Ivan Garcia in 14th. Eric Stanford in 15th. Bo Glenn in 16th. Gary Sexton ends up in 17th position. He's not going to be happy with that. Vernon Margheim in the 18th. Brian Coots in 19th. Jeremy Crandall in 20th. Gary?
Yeah, and coming in 21st place is going to be Brandon Monsivas. I know he's a strong dirt racer, so I'm sure he's not happy with that outcome. 60 laps down. 22nd is going to be Jack Watts. Rough night. Chad Payne's going to come in 23rd. Colin Bowden's going to come in 24th. And 25th is going to be Jeff T. Martin. It looks like he's the last of drivers to actually start the race. Andrew Kessler is going to score in 26th. And Ethan Glenn, a new driver, he looks like he didn't have a chance to take the green flag. He's going to come in 27th to round off the field.
Yeah, Brandon, I think, had one of the top 3 times in the practice session. So you're right about that. He probably won't be happy with that position of 21st.
Yeah, and sometimes with the sim racing community, you have technical issues that could arise, just like if this was a real car and you have an engine failure. I know Brandon was having some connection issues tonight, and just not his night to be out there on the track. But I'm sure he'll be out there again for one of these special event non-point races.
Yes, sir. Real quick, we do have Bo Glenn and his son, who's another 13-year-old. Ethan Glenn, he took a couple laps there in practice. Dirt is not his forte, Ethan's, and he decided not to actually run the race tonight. But those are 2 drivers that are signed up for the basically past second half of our season, paid a small fee to be able to race these non-point races and all of our practice sessions, fans. Obviously, Bo and Glenn are a great father-son combo. We love having that in our series, and we definitely look to see those guys having much more success in the non-point truck races like tonight's was, as well as a lot of our practice sessions, which are not televised, fans. But you will definitely see them in a few more. We have 5 more non-points truck races, fans. Those are at certain tracks like Rockingham. I think we have one at Richmond. Gary, if you can remember a few of the other ones, they're going to be really, really exciting races.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. I think we have Darlington coming up on the schedule.
There you go.
My favorite tracks to run, so look for that to be a good one. I'm not sure of the other ones, but
Hey, Robert, just a quick question before we get the winners in here. Can we get my teammate Blake Griffith? I just love to interview Blake and ask him as my teammate how the track was tonight.
Sure, we can do that real quick. We'll do that up front. Blake Griffith, this is Robert, Tim, Michelle, and Gary Sexton in the broadcast booth. Blake, how was the track tonight? How was your race, and what did you learn?
The track was slick. This was my first dirt race ever. I had never been on dirt, so I was very, very nervous. But it was a lot of fun. It just took a while to get used to it. But thanks to Gary giving me some tips and pointers, I finally got the hang of it and pulled the 10th place out of it.
yeah, and Blake, I hate to say it, buddy, but shortly after our little exchange on the track, my cat came and jumped on my computer and turned it off.
Oh gosh, man. Yeah, I was looking back. I was like, I hope Gary won that, and then I turned around and I went to the results and noticed that you had exited out. I was like, oh geez, I did. I've messed him up.
Blake, do you think there's anything you could have done to get a little bit better finish for JTM Motorsports tonight, or you think you did your best out there?
Well, for this being my first time on dirt, I think I done pretty good. I think I could have finished a little better though, but somebody, I think Ray Richter might have checked up, and when he did, I checked up to miss him, and the 42 just drove into me hard and ran over me, and I got spun and went back to 16th. So I worked my way from 16th back up to 10th. So again, I'm pretty happy with that.
A top 10, I'm very happy. Congratulations, Blake. We're going to bring the top 3 in and talk to them now.
Awesome. I appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, thank you, Blake. All right, now we have got our second place finisher of Gabe Wood up here in the broadcast booth. I will let Tim, I'll let you and Michelle both ask him some questions.
Well, Gabe, you qualified second tonight. You seem to be the top guy on the track all night long. Giovanni Bramante comes out of qualifying 11th and dominates the race.
Is that a question, or are you just trying to make me mad?
I'm just trying to make you mad, Gabe. No. I'm wondering where did you go wrong? I mean, we thought you and Gary would be right up there, and I know Gary had some unfortunate instances, later on with his cat jumping in his lap, which usually doesn't happen if you're on the real dirt track. But how did you feel about your race tonight, Gabe?
I'll tell you what happened. The fastest I was right around the bottom. And unfortunately, the way we started with the track state, the bottom technically had never been run, so there was way too much grip down there. And every time I went to go, I don't know if you noticed, but the first about 10 laps, I hit the wall on the inside through 3 and 4 about 2 or 3 times.
I saw that.
That was exactly what it was. The car was bogging down and ended up torquing. The car would gain grip and shoot me right into the wall.
It'd pull a Miley Cyrus right into the wall.
Yeah, but before we continue anything, I'd like to apologize to Dave. That was not my intention. I told him that, but God, I knew he was going to have the bottom going into 3 and 4, and I was completely content on running third. After the night I had, I was in 12th at one point. I was completely content, and I rode the high side just to give him room, and it just bit right on the top. If you look at the replay, I straightened up just a little bit to try and keep the car up there, and it just turned right down the racetrack. It gained grip, and I came down into Dave. I feel awful about it.
Well, that track was slick for everybody tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was gaining grip, and the bottom, I had run it enough. I guess I had knocked the rubber off because it was starting to come in, especially through 3 and 4, and that's why I knew Dave was going to get second from me, and I was completely okay with third. But unfortunately, I ended up taking him out.
It was an exciting race to watch. It was, my heart was pounding on my chest with those few laps to go.
Yeah, especially the end of that race was very, very exciting. You guys put on a terrific show. Who would you like to thank tonight for your third place finish, Gabriel? And I am sure that in 1 week, or when we have this rescheduled points race at Eldora in the trucks, you're going to probably come out on top. Who would you like to thank?
Well, I'd like to thank the new truck, Veterans Motorsports, the team that I work for in the Xfinity Series. I decided to, paint up a truck like we ran in Daytona, Honor the Fallen, and in 22, it's an organization. 22 veterans a year kill themselves due to post-traumatic stress disorder. So their mission is to end 22 and get it down to 0. Other than that, the Veterans Media Group is just, a great group of guys that I'm able to work with, Steve Morgan and them. And I got to thank the guys on the ARCA side, David King, Andy Hillenberg. Got to thank those guys. But I really don't feel like I should be in the second spot. I feel like I should be third, where Jones is, and Washington should be right here.
Hey, no problem. Things happen, especially on the dirt here at Eldora. You did a terrific job, especially all the laps you were leading during qualifying. And like I said, you're the top of the class here in Domino's TYJ Racing in the trucks. We love it every time you're in the race. And I think the fans love it every time you're behind the microphone, which is a lot better than I am. Anyway, congratulations there, Gabe. And we will definitely, actually, the fans will be able to hear you tomorrow night for the Glen Race Top Shelf Cup.
Well, that'll be fun. Looking forward to it.
Congratulations on your real-life promotion, Gabe, as well. Michelle and I, congratulations on that. That's just amazing.
Oh, thank you. I gotta go hit the books. I gotta go study for my drug test.
Yes, sir. We want you to pass the drug test, so you got to probably lay off, that whatever you call it, extra strength Tylenol. Don't take 4 tonight. Just take 1 or 2. All right, Dave. Take care.
Yeah, I'll give them to Dave.
That'll work. Take care.
All right, now, guy, Robert.
Yeah, he is an amazing guy. We have been really, really blessed here at Domino's TYJ Racing, and we all know why that is, but we've got some terrific drivers, we've got some terrific sponsors, and we've got some unbelievably terrific commentators, including Tim and Michelle Rangers, Gabriel Wood, Ray Richer, Curtis Young. We've also got Tanner Talrico jumps in here every now and again, and if I'm missing somebody, please forgive me. But
you're missing somebody that's in the booth right now, Gary Sexton.
Gary Sexton, I'm sorry. I tell you what, Gary does more than just commentate. Gary is the go-to man outside of Judd Danielson. I tell you what, we got some admins and guys that are watching this race. You just have to give me a second here. Chad Payne, Judd Danielson. I'm still going to miss some people. So help call them out for me, Gary. They're admins.
We got Joe Johnson. He commentates as well.
Joe Johnson commentates, does a great job.
Michael D'Amico with All Pro Broadcasting.
Absolutely. We would not even be here, trust me, fans, without Michael D'Amico.
Michael has the best camera angles of anyone in the business today.
Yes, sir. And we were in no man's lost land about 6 months ago. And luckily, thank the good Lord, we came across Michael D'Amico. It's been a great relationship so far. We're looking to more. But right now, let's interview the winner of this race. I know he's been waiting forever. He's got his mic off. Hopefully, he turns it on real quick. Gary Sexton, please interview down in Victory Lane, Gio Bramante for that incredible win.
Yeah, we're down here in Victory Lane with Giovanni Bramante, my rival the past couple weeks here and practicing on dirt and whatnot, and I expected to be battling him for the win tonight, but Gio, you came out on top and pretty much dominated the second half of that race. And tell us how your truck was tonight and how the track was and what you had to do to hold off those guys behind you because they were coming hard.
Yeah, it was definitely really difficult. I just got really good starts and I kind of pulled away from everybody and just kept that gap. But I was kind of mad that you didn't race because you were really good. And yeah.
Yeah, I was up there. I led the first, I think, 60 laps and then had some technical issues and my cat turned off my computer. So it's all good, but it happens here.
Who let that track out at my home state of Ohio, Gary? That's what I want to know. Who let the cat out that jumped into your car onto your lap?
Yeah, right. Well, it's all good, but Gio, that was a really awesome run tonight. I know you were fast. I think regardless whether I was still there or if Gabe was up there battling the whole time, it would have been tough to hold you off. And real impressive run for you. Glad to see you get a win. Is there anyone you'd like to thank for your win tonight, or anything else you want to add about the race tonight?
I'd like to thank Dave, Andy, Andrew, whole Aegis team.
That's awesome. Yeah, I know those guys are a big help. They kind of took you under their wing when you joined the series, and awesome to see the amount of speed you have for such a young talent. And we look forward to seeing you out there in future races out here.
Yep.
Now, Gio, quick question: are you going to be running Camping World maybe next year or the year after that?
A couple of years.
So you're going to be in the big show.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be nice to see. Just don't forget the little people.
No, he won't. Gio is one of the greatest hearted young men I've ever run across. And by the way, hope to meet in real life someday. I'm going to make it to one of his races if I can. Maybe we all can make it to one of his races and meet each other in person. Real quick, I did forget another very, very special friend, very special commentator, veteran member of the Domino's TYJ Racing family, Ray Richer. We also wouldn't be here without him. He is not only an admin, he is one of the best voices in commentating here. Not to slide anybody that's helping us tonight, but Ray has got an excellent voice. He's an excellent driver. Looks like tonight he had a little bit of bad luck. Started in 10th, finished 8th, but he is there every time you need him. You can never worry about counting on Ray Richer. He's always there, as well as you other guys. So real quick, we do have a free Domino's Pizza winner. Do not ever want to forget about that. Tonight it is Tim Dawson from Richmond, Virginia. He must either know Gio or figured out Gio would be a fast guy in the truck tonight. He is going to win that free large Domino's 3-topping pizza. So congratulations to Tim Dawson. And for Tim Rangers, Michelle Rangers, wonderful couple they are. Gary Sexton, Michael D'Amico. Don't forget, fans, click that subscribe button. This is Robert McFarland. You've been watching the Domino's TYJ Racing Dented Fender Truck Series live here at Eldora Speedway and All Pro Broadcasting. Tomorrow night, you want to make sure you have your dinner. If you didn't win the free pizza tonight, you want to make sure you get ready. 8:50 p.m. Eastern. Top Shelf Cup. Some of the best drivers you've ever seen in iRacing will be on the track at Watkins Glen, and it is going to be a 3-stage race. 15 laps, 30 laps, and yeah, I guarantee you, you're going to have a hard time picking the winner at halfway because that strategy is going to mix things up like you have never seen. So congratulations. We'll see you then. Good night, guys.
Good night, Robert. Thank you.